Welcome everyone. So first of all, from CIT, Dr. Indu Kumar will introduce the session, and then our expert, Dr. Manas, will be taking the session. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody, and a very good afternoon, Dr. Manas. So, Dr. Manas is the expert of today's session, and he will be speaking on OERs today, Open Educational Resources. This
I will request all the RIs and other members who are already joined the session, please mute your audio so that you can listen our expert as well as the Dr. Indu Kumar.
Hello.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Dr. Manas. Thank you so much for accepting to take this session. So this session would be very, very relevant to the participants of this session. All the RIs are connecting with us, and the NI departments, our departments at NCRT campus are also there on board. They are listening to you because all of them are working in a way or other with OERs. Because we, apart from many other activities, we are content developers also. And recently we are into developing the e-resources, e-content. And when we develop e-content for various projects like massive open online courses, we are developing e-content to be linked with QR codes of our textbooks. So having a knowledge about open educational resources and also about some of the tools which are free and open source would be very, very beneficial for them, so that they know what are OER, how can OERs be utilized for different purposes, and what is the licensing policy, if any, for procuring OERs. What are the different kind of licensing? So I hope the session will include, among other aspects, these areas also. So now I would request you to kindly start the session so that everybody can listen. It will be uploaded later on YouTube. So those who are not linked with us now, they can later watch the session. Yeah, Dr. Manas.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Indu. This is a good opportunity to interact with your faculty members from different corner of the country, and this is really very innovative area nowadays. We are linked into to discuss, and the national thoughts are into this. So thank you very much choosing this topic and. Making aware our colleagues in different corner of the country so that they can practice OER instead of understanding OER. So I can ask your support team to just flash on the PPT which is I shared so that all the participants they can view this PPT. At the same time, I can just discuss with them about this content.
Right.
So let me start with this topic, and I hope the many participants are in line and they are viewing this entire session, and we will have interaction also. And
yeah, they will be posing question through live chat also. You can see the chats on your screen.
Okay.
When they come.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
chart will come on
Yeah.
screen, right? Okay. Good. So, yeah, and let me start with this, and I can say that this topic, as I am showing in my slide, you can able to see. adoption of OER, an innovative intervention for teaching and learning. The title I make for my understanding and my acceptance. It doesn't mean everybody will accept this one, and everybody will accept and say that no, this is Manas telling, and it means we will accept. No, you need to try to do. Then you finalize that whether this statement is really right for you or not. But for me, this is right because I practiced and I am learning out of it, and I have seen many things, which is I am going to share with you people. So this OER, why it is innovative intervention for teaching and learning, that we will probably understand end of the session. So let me go to the next slide, slide number 2 of my presentation. If you will see, I'm from Commonwealth of Learning. Uh, Slide number 2. I'm from Commonwealth of Learning, Commonwealth Educational Media Center. You can see this screen. This organization established in Vancouver, Canada in 1994, and agreement with the Government of India in 1998, status of a diploma technician in 2000. This SIMCA is only organization and only regional center of Commonwealth of Learning situated in India, and host country is India with Ministry of HRD. So this is our main motto of this organization, to assist Commonwealth governments and institutions to expand the scale, efficiency, and equality and quality of learning by using different media and different ICT mode for teaching and learning, which is, we can say that, open distance and technology enabled learning. So these are the Commonwealth countries. You can see below the my screen, it is there. So let us see about the next one is, I just throw this childhood riddle, though I have given the answer also, because we understand that this is only the thing which can be shared, which will not reduce after, even after sharing. So sharing is in our nature. Particularly, I can say that it can be very fun out of that. We are very much conducive, I can say, in sharing in Indian people, as Indian teacher, Indian person. We are very much conducive. Even if myself also, in my student career also, I used to be very scared sharing to others. Anything which is academically I am doing, but I am very much love, and we Indian very much love to share any other things except this one. And but I can say you will understand that knowledge only the things which can help you for sharing, and which will increase rather than the decreasing of your knowledge. So let us understand about this open educational resources. What is this open educational resources? You can understand that there are three words. One is open, second one is education, third one is resources. Open educational resources. Open means anybody can see from any time, any place, and which cannot be chargeable by money. So it is free of cost. And educational materials which is relating to the education and which can able to help us in our teaching learning process, as well as enhance our knowledge and efficiency in teaching learning. That is educational things. And materials, which these are the resources and the materials which can help us in different forms of teaching and learning process. So, but if you will see that this is the very conceptual thing we can address here about this OER, that formally recognized by UNESCO, that is any teaching, learning, and research materials in any medium, digitally or otherwise that reside in the public domain or have been released under an open license that permits no cost access, use, adoption, and redistribution by others with no or limited restrictions. This open license means is built within the existing framework of intellectual property rights as defined by relevant instructional convention and respects the authorship of the work. As we know that the content which is we are developing or any article you are writing, all these are the intellectual property rights. So our main duty is that we need to respect the author and author's contribution. So we can make our content more vibrant, which is more shareable to others, and others will get benefited out of it. So you can see that this OER talking about what it's talking about is telling that any teaching learning materials in any form, it could be audio form, it could be video form, it could be text material, uh, and it could be multimedia product also. So which is can easily accessible or no cost accessible. Means there will be no payment you are making to access these materials, which can be available freely for you, and it allows you to use. It allows you to use. Means if it is available in internet, you can able to download these materials and use your purpose. Number one. Number two, you can adapt these materials. You can adapt these materials means you can revise, remix, and prepare your material using this material for your purpose. Means you can contextualize your material for your purpose. And it allows also redistribution of these materials. It allows you without any permission or the formal permission of the author, unless or until you are violating the author's credit. And if you are giving credit to the author and giving the attribution to the author, so no need to ask formally to the author. Now you can understand, compare with your, because I know that all my colleagues are from different age group. You can feel that thing that if I will share my experience, probably in my time, if I want to use any kind of material, I need to take prior permission from the author. It took long time to get the permission. I'm sure that author will permit, because no author wants to restrict the things and not allow others to use it. But I'm telling you very frankly, and this is the process took a lot of time, and which is make you to wait. And now, because of open educational resources, it allows you to use the materials lawfully, effectively, and easily, saving the time. So, with this, all these concepts have been come out from the different historical perspectives, starting from the MIT courseware to right now we are in the OER content and context. And I just share with you few what is called few OE regular development of the OER, because OER conceptualized not as like this right now we are seeing. It was come out in different phases, and
my presentation.
yeah, it is able to see the presentation. Next slide. If you go to the next slide, you can able to see. Yeah, please. So it is not like this time. You change the slide. You please go for the next slide. Okay. it will show that what is the UNESCO headquarter parish. You can see this video. You can see this what is called picture. Background is UNESCO Paris headquarter building. I think previous slide. You can go for the previous slide so that able to see. Slide number 5. Yeah. Now you can see this very beautiful building which is dedicated to the UNESCO headquarter parish. And 2002 forum on the impact of open courseware for higher education in developing countries has been discussed a lot. And from this is the transit time to consider and point as OER. In this forum discussed about the impact of open courseware, and from that open courseware discussion, it coined as open educational resources, which the concept I have shown you before in the previous slide. And if you go for the next slide, go to the next slide. It shows you the Paris Declaration on OER. This actually the concept which is made and come out with, and this concept urges that we need to create more awareness. We need to create more awareness and use of OERs, and encourage the development and adoption of OER in a variety of languages and cultural contexts. Because most of the OERs, open educational resources, is in English language. But you can see now we need, first of all, understand about OER and use of OER. First understand, use, then practice. Then you can adopt OER. And you can make your OER in contextualized and cultural context as well as different language perspectives. Encourage the open licenses of educational materials produced with public funds. So this Paris Declaration is saying that the contents which we are developing using public fund, it should not be restricted for any point of view. It should be made available freely and easy access and usable format, right? So the declaration urges that we need to more focus on about the public funds utilized in such a way which can be developed effectively, and people should understand these contents is required for them and they can use it effective manner. If you will see that here also in 2012 Paris OER Declaration introduced in headquarter, as well as Commonwealth of Learning UNESCO in collaboration with Hewlett Foundation, we have also discussed a lot in different forums. Next slide. Next, please. Next slide. Okay, you see here, recently we are come out with the second OER World Congress, which is OER for inclusive and equitable quality education. The from commitment to action. This has been conducted recently, 18 to 20 September 2017, it was in Slovenia, in collaboration with you can see that Hewlett Foundation and Commonwealth of Learning and CALL initiative with the Republic of Slovenia. So, but this has been a Commonwealth of Learning taken charge for this and conducted 5 regional workshops and come out with certain recommendations. And all these 5 regional workshop recommendations has been discussed in this second OER World Congress in Slovenia. And from that, they have discussed in length and come out with that. This is the time we need to focus more about the from commitment to action. Means we need to understand, first we need to understand the OER, which can be possible to wider awareness on OER and training, hands-on training on OER. Then we need to create OERs and use OERs and understand about the different open licensing policies, especially Creative Commons licenses, which is widely usable and adopted by many institutions in India also, including NCRT. So all these things has been taught and discussed in this second OER World Congress. And if we'll go for the next slide, next please. So if you will remember the first slide, we discussed about the conceptual model and concept of this OER, which is allows us very clearly that open educational resources, it means these are the contents. These are the contents. It's text form, images, videos, audios, different kind of PPTs, presentations, and illustrations, and any softwares which can also useful for open source softwares which can be useful for the teaching learning purposes. But it should have adopted with this open licenses. So next slide, if we go for the next. Yeah, but after listening all these things, probably a question is arising in your mind. Yes, tell me, Manas, why OER? You are talking about the World Congress OER, you are talking about the UNESCO, you are talking about the Commonwealth of Learning, you are talking about the Hewlett Foundation, and you are talking about the Government of India also in this business. So, but why this OER? What as a teacher we are doing, is it not sufficient as we are in the classroom and we are dealing with our prospective teachers and in-service teachers? Yes, that's true. But I have some evidences I want to show you. These are the 3 causes I can claim that for that OER. You can see OER reduce costs, enhance accesses, improve quality. I can show you very noxlately. I want to show you the what is called the evidences behind it. Next slide. You see the example of that reducing costs. Commonwealth of Learning recently come out with the research. That research findings is shows from this Antigua and Barbuda, that shows that students saved between 75 to 88 ECD per course per semester by using open textbooks. See, 75 to 88, this is their currency, which is they used to save due to using this open textbooks. Another one, it leads also impacting to their performance, the students' performance. See, using supplementing textbooks with OERs, with OER, improve students' performance by 5.5%. So entire report is available in Commonwealth of Learning repository, that is OSIS. If you will go for that, you can able to see this entire report and understand. You may agree with me that really OER reducing cost in teaching and learning. Next. See, this is, I can claim here about the access. It's the example and research done in Malawi. The college is called Bunda College of Agriculture. 102-page communication skills textbook, which is developed using 75% of OERs. The most of the sections of this textbook which is adapted OER, that is, and contextualizing with the relevant materials, that is, activities and assignments and evaluation processes. You see, the textbooks which is they developed using this OER materials. We will discuss in our next couple of slides about this, how OERs can be useful. Again, certain questions coming to your mind probably, that is it not having any copyright issue? Is it not plagiarism? Is it not really hampering to the quality of the real author? We will discuss all these things in our couple of slides. Next. Again, I'm talking about the access. You see, this is another example. All Commonwealth of Learning resources has been translated and adapted by Open University of China, as same in Ukraine also. So all the materials of Commonwealth of Learning, which has been released under open license, Creative Commons, and the license policy is very open, that is CC BY and CC BY SC in certain cases. So the Open University of China adopted all materials and translated into Chinese language and shared through their own repository for use. This is the beauty of access. It means people can easily get these materials, use their own way, how they want to use it. Next. So you can see, we are talking about the quality. You see the quality things, which is some examples of India. You can see here, 553 institutions in India. They are using OERs with certain level of quality and assuring the quality. For example, you can see that that is Birla Institute of Technology, NPTEL materials of under Government of India, and Mayadavi Educational Foundations, and particularly I can quote here NROER materials. You can see the steps NROER following to assure the quality, and unless upon till achieving that level of mark, the materials are not in the public. And so the rigorous policy is there to maintain the standard and quality, to reaching up to the grassroots level. You see, these are the example of the quality which is helping our teachers, our learners, our students to enhance their teaching learning process and as well as achievement in teaching. Next. So with this all, I can say you what we can understand up to this, if we will conceptualize about open educational resources, understanding all these examples as well as concept which is shared to this. You see, this we are talking about 5R. This is, you can reuse the materials, revise these materials, remix, redistribute, retain. So these are the 5 R's which is really conceptualizing this open education resources. So you need not want any permission to exercise this 5R, taking any permission from your respected authors. So just you need to follow that the materials are under open license, and you need to understand that the limitations of this open license and respect that much and use and entertain this 5R. Next. As I talked about this open license. Why consider licensing? I'm talking about copyright things. Copyright itself a discipline of law. We are teachers. We need to understand. If you want to understand about the copyright, you need to go for the become a law graduate on copyright issues. We need to minimize all these things, and we need to understand that how effectively useful these materials for us, and we should not violate any copyright issue. So licensing is only the way which is helping us in this regard to use the available materials effectively. And it doesn't mean, sometimes we are thinking that it is copyright free. If it is under this license, it is copyright free. No, not exactly. It's not copyright free. By default, it is copyright. The materials are under copyright. But these copyrighted materials, we need to use very effective manners, and it is able to disseminate widely. So this licensing will help us to use copyright materials in a lawful manner without violating any kind of intellectual property law and not disrespecting to this intellectual property right. Next. See, here we are talking about this copyright things. The copyrights, it prohibits unauthorized use. It's not telling that not to use, right? It prohibits unauthorized use, unauthorized distribution, and misuse of these materials. And it requires permission of the copyright holder for creating any derivative works. For use of fair dealing is permitted. You see, being a teacher, if we are getting any kind of good materials, if it is with certain license, open license, so it helps us to respect this copyright, and it helps us not to violate copyright. And again, it helps us to disseminate widely and what really authors wants to do. Next. So that's why open license. It creates more freely accessible materials. Most freely accessible the materials. You see, open license developed to make it easier for a creator to share works freely with the public or with the required domain. There have been several efforts to adopt different open licenses. For example, you have different kind of open license like open content license, GNU free documentation license, open publication licenses. So can we say that this open license is really helping us to use the materials as per our requirement? And how it is more easy to use? Before comparing to any kind of licensing in my topic, which I practiced so far, and I believe that this is the innovative approach for better teaching learning process, are the enhancing knowledge using the open educational resources and the open educational materials. I would like to talk about the Creative Commons licenses. You see, the Creative Commons licenses, these are the kind of open licenses which widely used in different terms and making the OER and releasing under these licenses. See, before talking one by one this Creative Commons licenses, which is shown on your screen, I would like to let you know what is this, why this is Creative Commons. The story, the interesting story behind it, that is, Creative Commons, it's a kind of NGO which is situated in USA. And this NGO realized and done several studies and come out with that the education cost is very high. Education cost is very high in their respective areas of the states and countries. And Creative Commons start working that how, without violating any copyright holders or intellectual property rights, how we can use the available materials and the authors can use these materials effectively and they can share these materials effectively. Let me just tell you that this Creative Commons team, they come out with this open licenses, and they thought in a different way and conceptualize with these 4 components. One is attribution, share alike, non-commercial, and non-derivative. Non-commercial and non-derivative. So I would like to share with you this Creative Commons licenses has been approved and recognized by the Supreme Court of United Nations. And they realized these licenses are really helping to use effectively the materials, which is the 5R we are talking about. You see, these are the certain concepts we will discuss one by one. Beforehand, you see, they created this Creative Commons license. This CC stand for the Creative Commons, and that is which is their brand and branding of that product. And all other things, attribution that it is by, and share alike, which is stands to SA, and non-commercial it is NC, and non-derivative it is ND. And they prepared certain icons also. You can probably see these icons on your screen, which is in the same slide of left-hand side. You can see these icons. And this is 6 major icons which is they prepared and which is easy to understand for using of any kind of materials, what really authors extending to use. Let me go for this 4 concepts. These 4 concepts, which is talking about attribution. Attribution means by. Means by here is the author. By here is the author. You need to respect the author while you are using that material. You need to recognize the author while you are using this material. It means author is telling only you need to give me attribution. Simple. It means if you can see in my previous slide, I can show you previous slide. It is all the Creative Commons licenses using CC and BY. It means author is the center point, the producer of the content, so that you need to respect to the author. So attribution you need to extend for the respect to the origin of this content. So it says that it means must reference the work, giving you credit for it the way you request, but not in way that suggests you endorse them or their use of the work. Second one is non-commercial. It says that it allows you all the 5 R to exercise, but it says that don't sell it for your profit. If this NC stand in the any license, it is telling that you can copy it, distribute it, you can display, you can revise, you can remix, and but you cannot use this is for to get financial benefit. So you cannot sell it in the market to get financial benefit. Again, probably the question comes to your mind, okay, you are talking about this. Can we photocopy the material for others and take back that money? Yes, of course. If you are photocopy the material, you are paying for 10 rupees. You can ask for the 10 rupees to the others while you are sharing with that person. That could be possible because you spend that money for others on behalf of others, right? So that money you can take, but you cannot ask for the 11 rupees, which 1 rupee you can get the profit. So you need to think very strategically that this non-commercial things. So, and next you will go to that one, no derivative works. This is completely telling that you can copy, you can distribute, you can display, you can retain with you, but you can use the original copy of the work. You cannot do any changes in that work. Any revise you can't do. Any remix you can't do. It means that I will let you know that when we will go for the next things. I will talk to you that whether it is copyrighted or not, or sorry, whether it is open licensed or not, or it is OER or not, particularly. Share alike is very interesting one. Share alike. If you will see this on your screen, you let others copy. It means author telling you, you let others copy. Distribute, you can display. Perform. You can modify, revise, remix, prepare your content using this existing content or contents under this license, share alike. But it's the modified work. You need to do share, do distribute with the same terms. With the same terms. So share alike, if you are using the materials which is having share alike, when you are producing your own materials in a modified version of this material, you need to also release under the same licensing includes that. So this is the 4 concepts. If you understand these 4 concepts, you can easily understand about all kind of Creative Commons licenses, which is we can say that these are the OERs, which you can say that the identity for any kind of open educational resources. Let me go to the next slide. If you will see here in the next slide, the kind of you can say in our next slide, the kind of licenses which is summarizing here. This is last 2 licenses. May I request for next slide? You can able to see in the next slide. Monica maybe help me in this regard to go to the next slide. See, maybe Monica away. Let me just describe, then you can able to understand, and slides you will get it in few seconds probably. So see, this is the kind of 6 kind of license as I am talking about. If you will see, the first one is 0 and roundabout is in between that in the circle 0. That is public domain. That icon is talking about the public domain. So it is completely open. You need not want to think about it. This is allowed to exercise all the 5R and enjoy all the 5Rs. Right? And second one is CCBY. It allows you, if this license is that in the any material, it allows you even commercially. It allows you to copy, revise, remix, redistribute, retain, and even commercially. So it is most open after public domain, and most freedom it gives you under OER. So the second, the CCBY essay, as I said, this is essay. You need to attribute to the by means author, and you need to respect this essay. You can revise, remix, redistribute. While you are revising and remixing and producing your own content, that time you need to keep in your mind that your product, your material should go in this top, means Sarah-like. Next, a little bit closer one, that is CCBY NC. It means if you can just add NC into this license, that is CCBY. If you will add NC into this CCBY, that you can exercise, enjoy all these 5Rs. You see, very interestingly prepared these licenses, and easy to understand. You can revise, remix, redistribute, and you can prepare your own materials and retain it or share with others, but you cannot sell these materials in the market to get profit out of it. You see, you can understand very clearly it is saying in the CCBY license, second one, CCBY license, if you will add NC, it means that is restricting some point. That is restricting some points. That restriction is that you can do or exercise all the 5R except using for the commercial purpose. Right? See, you go for the next one. You can go for the next one. You see, it's talking about the CCBY NCSA. I just added another 2 things into CCBY. See, added 2 things into CCBY. You see, first and the second one is I have added 2 things, 2 restrictions, 2 limitations. What is that limitations? One is already added NC. Now I am added SA. Means you cannot use it for the commercial purpose, and at the same time you need to take care that the material which you will produce using revising and remixing materials, while you are distributing and sharing, that time you need to go for the same term, that Sarah-like. Very simple things. So these 4 what is called Creative Commons licenses, which is called as OER. Another 2 licenses, you can see that I have marked here in the red one. That is not OER, I have said. Recently, Creative Commons come out with through different practices, which is restricting more about this, which is as equivalent to the what is called closed one. least freedom, you can say, least freedom. It not allows you to perform all respect of this 5R. Isn't it? See, what is this CC by ND, non-derivative? First of all, you need to understand that whatever material you will use of anyone's, you can just use, you can retain, means you can keep it with you, and you can what is called share with others. Means same material you can distribute. Okay, distribute. While we are talking about the redistribute, that moment it will come into that you can do some changes. Do some changes, right? So here it means almost it is closed as comparison to upper ones. And similarly, you will see the last one. Last one is CCBY NCND. NCND. You see NCND. NC means non-commercial. If you are using any other materials, you can copy it. You can download it. You can keep it with you. You can even if share with your classroom. You can distribute among the people. But you cannot sell this material on the market to get any kind of what is called profit out of it. You see? And you cannot change, you cannot bring any kind of derivative out of it. So these are the different kind of licenses which is talking about and recognized towards the open education resources. You see, again, I just wanted to summarize here about these licenses. The Creative Commons licenses, this is kind of licenses on your screen, which is really helping you for use any copyright materials freely and effectively. This is next. Let me go for the next. The main question is coming to our mind. Okay. It's coming to our mind that from where I will get this OERs? From where I will get this OERs? Open education resources. And I know that how I will recognize this open education resources. I can able to identify the OERs, but from where I will get this open education resources? These are the search engines I have listed. There are many, but I have listed few search engines. You can see these search engines take you to different OERs, open education resources. So this, if you will go for the Google Advanced Search, as we used to do also, Google Advanced Search, and we are searching the materials, and when we are Google any search through this, and Google Advanced Search giving us many parameters to identify particular material as per your requirement. That requirement is which particular material I want to find out, and particular type of material I want to find out, that I can able to find out from this Google Advanced Search. So if you will open this Google Advanced Search, you will get the format, and end of that format, it allows you to choose kind of open license and Creative Commons licensed materials you will get. If you want to search Creative Commons materials, any kind of Creative Commons licensed materials, that allows you to refine from that drop-down menu which kind of materials you want. And it helps you to take you to that particular materials. Hope you will practice and you will find out your own open educational materials. My dear friends, I am again telling one point. Don't think that all internet materials are open educational resources. Don't think all YouTube videos are open educational resources. Very careful that to recognize and identify the materials which is open educational resources. These are the different search engines can take you directly to the open education resources. This is one way to identify open education resources. You can see the Creative Commons search also, which is Creative Commons itself giving a search engine, which is you can search Creative Commons OER Commons materials, as well as you can get the different materials through this search engine. You can get the materials from YouTube also through this. You can get the materials from Flickr also. Any pictures, any photographs if you want. That is OER. And this search engine also take you to different PPTs also. So these are the different kind of search engines which really helping you to identify particular material, which materials under which license you want to. So this is the Creative Commons search engines and OER search engines. Again, I can just keep a point for you that while you want to accept the certain things, do practice, do use, and then accept it. Don't accept blindly. Go for the next one. This is another way to get your open educational resources. This is another way to get your educational resources. You see, open educational resources, these are the different kind of platforms, OER platforms. You see, Wikipedia, it allows you also to change in the online mode. It allows you to develop the contents and the information which is available under Wikipedia. It allows you to change the materials. Again, thing is coming that how to reserve the quality. You can say that, okay, we know that Wikipedia and other things, and Wikipedia materials are not always true, and these are not always fair. See, Wikipedia having rigorous quality monitoring strategy. If you are changing anything wrong thrice and rubbish thrice, they will move you out from the Wikipedia domain. And they will restrict your access to Wikipedia, through which you cannot able to do the changes and bring any kind of modification in it. So and if you are posting any wrong also, there is the beauty is that any other person who knows about the right thing can be changed immediately. So that you can, and the source also they are giving in an effective manner and in an adequate manner, so that which can shows that the authenticity of this materials. Similarly, you can go to the connections. As we know, on MIT courseware, open courseware, and FlexiLearn, OER Commons. Yeah, if you can browse this repository, you can get all kind of materials in all formats. You will get it. Maybe you will get the video materials, which is linked to the YouTube, and you can get the text materials, which is in the form of PDF, or it is any other form of editable. So you can get this material. Merlot also kind of platform where you can get this material. If you will come to the Indian context, you can see that NPTEL we have, and we have NROER, we have EPG Pathshala. So these are the different kind of OER repositories which help you to find out different kind of OERs. If I will go to the next one, you can see some of the work we have been done here, and you can see here that is some of the OER sites I can show you. That is you see NSOU OER. repository. Netaji Subhas Open University OER repository, which is SEMCA supported one. And this repository is available for your ready use and able to
Sir,
understand. Yeah.
Manas sir, we have one question from YouTube. One viewer has asked, how is share like different from attribution, as most of the components are same?
How it is different from the share like and attribution?
Yes, these both are how they are different, as it looks like that most of the components of both are same. This is one of the question posted on YouTube, so I just intervened.
Okay, great. Nice. This is very interesting question I received, and see the component of these two concepts is share alike and attribution. For example, I can take you the example of, you can see the same slide in below. I have attributed here. I have given CC license to my work. If you will see this PPT, you can see that below I have given this icon. Next slide. Given this icon. Okay. So if we see this icon, that is shows that CCBY essay. See, small icon is there. CCBY essay. You are telling that BY and essay both are same. It looks. You see, CCBY. If I will compare with these two slides, CCBY and CCBY essay. Essay share alike. Very simple example. For example, my material is under CCBY, right? It allows you whatever you want to do. You may not revise, you may not remix, or you can revise and remix, produce your own material. It is not necessary that share alike or the same tone, or you just attribute me. That is enough. You can say that thanks to Dr. The original author, Dr. Manas Ranjan Panigrahi, the material retrieved from this. That is enough, right? If you will go for the CCBY essay, it allows you need to go for the same license. First, you need to attribute the author, number one, that is BY, and you can go for the essay. Means what you can revise, you can remix, whatever the revising and remixing material you will produce your own. That material you go for this license. However, in the case of BY license, you may not go for this licensing policy. You can go for the other licensing policy also. So CCBY allows to adopt any kind of license which you produced out of that material. Are you getting my point? So revise and remix, do this exercise and come out with your own material, and that material you can release under any other license. But while you are using CCBY SA license materials, you need to also release the same term, your material also. That is the condition. So there is only small difference that if you are using this CCBY, which is most open, and the little bit less open is CCBY SA materials. Because you can, when you are produce your own material using this licensed materials, it means you need to also release under this same license. You cannot release under this CCBY license or CCBY MC license or CCBY ND license, isn't it? You need to go for the CCBY SA license one. So this is only the difference. So let us come back to the next one to continue thing. Hope you understand this one. So let us come to these slides. And so this slide, if you will see next slide, I can go. This slide is talking about some of the work which is done by Commonwealth of Learning as well as Government of India initiatives. You see, recently we developed that Netaji Subhas Open University OER repository. And this beauty of this repository, it is using entirely open source software. And the software itself open source, that is DSpace, and it is easy to customize the software to maintain your repository, number one. Number two, it allows also indexing of your content and multiple kind of search engines. You can search by author, you can search by title of the books, you can search by title of the video, you can search by course content, by name of the course content accordingly. Similarly, we have also, we means SEMCA and Commonwealth Planning, also supported to Open Odisha State Open University, that is OSOU, very young open university in India, and that is come out with e-Gyanadhar. That is kind of OER repository come out with all the materials which is available, which is under OER, and the good thing is that these institutions, they have OER policy, open educational resource policy for their institutions. It means all the materials which is they are releasing under this repository, that is under certain licenses. For Netaji Subhas Open University, I can share with you that is the license is called CCBY NCSA, non-commercial share alike. So any materials is available, you need to attribute to the author. You cannot use for the commercial purpose, and any byproduct of this material come out as your authorship, that should be shared through this terminology, that is CCBY-SA or CCBY-NCSA. E-Gyanadhar, that is CCBY-SA. Very simple, and CCBY-SA, and this is also share alike. The same term you can use it. And EPG Pathshala under this InfibNet, you can say, they also adopted the license called CCBY-SA. And you can see another one, eBook BOU. It is Bangladesh Open University. We also helped them to come out with this OER repository, and they have also have their institutional OER policy, which is most open, that is CCBY. CCBY. All the materials, they have all video materials, text materials, all SLMs, self-learning materials, and they have all audio materials, which is come under this license, that is CCBY. So NROER, again I can say that this is come under this adopted this CCBY-SA license, and Shakshar CCBY-SA license. And you can see this OSIS, that is open source repository of Commonwealth Planning. You can browse this one. You will get very useful materials in these resources. And to be adopted, two kind of licenses. One is the CCBY, and another one is CCBY-SA. And importance and weight to these materials, we decide that which license we need to adopt. According to that, we are able to use these licenses. And these two kind of license, I can just assure you that the Commonwealth of Planning in Canada, they are adopting that CCBY license, and at SEMCA we are adopted that CCBY-SA license. If I will go to the next one. Next slide. You see next slide, that is talking about the quality. This is very more important thing, that talking about the quality. So quality, you see, this is kind of what is called relative term. But you are developing your open educational resources. That is, you are the author, and you need to maintain the quality with your standard understanding of the parameters. If we will think about the institutional level or individual level, who is the responsible for the quality of repurposed content? Means you are revising, remixing, it is repurposing the content. Who is the responsible? How do institutions ensure the integrity of this content? What is the role of quality assurance agencies in this regard? These are the three major issues in quality assurance for open education resources. With these major issues, you can see next slide. You can see in the next slide the issues specific to OER. If I will give the answer of these three questions, all are selling in the same boat. I would like to take your attention here properly that these are the conditions you need to think in a positive manner. So issues specific to this OER. You see, your material, your educational materials or educational resources should have the accessibility. It means if I want to download your material from the web, I should be able to easily download, even if with very less bandwidth. Very less bandwidth. That we need to also think into. Then localization. You need to think that whether your material really purposeful for the target group what you are intended. So, is your materials helps user to adapt it, and localize it, contextualize it? You need to think in that way. So this is another issue which you need to address while you are developing and creating your open educational resources. And technological barrier. You see, nowadays we are dependent on the technology. We are taking huge what is called advantage of technology. That advantage we are taking, but we are also facing a lot of problems during this use of technology. And we need to think that we should not show that we are using technology, so that very hard level of technology we will use, so that we think people will feel proud on that and they will take me as scholastic person. No, you need to think that how easily your material can reach to unreached and remote end of the person, how it can be reached. So the technology should not be the barrier for reaching these your materials. You are sharing a video through YouTube. You need to think that how length of your video, what is the weight of your video, so that the less bandwidth also supported to your video to easy to download and run online. So that technological barrier also need to take into account. Discoverability and interoperability. So you need to think all these issues in an effective manner, so that it can be addressed to all aspects of the quality assurance. For this purpose, considering all these 5 components, SEMCA, Commonwealth Educational Media Center for Asia, is where I'm sitting, and we taken this journey to come out with a quality assurance toolkit for use of OER and create OERs. Next slide, if I will go to that, next slide, you can see this this slide is showing the material which is quality assurance guidelines for open educational resources, which is well known as TIPS framework. The present idea to the teachers are prospective creators of OER. The guidelines come out in such a way which help the teachers to use OER and help the teachers or the creators or the authors to create their OERs considering to all the rubrics, all the items which is developed under this Open Educational Resource Tips framework. So institutions adopt these guidelines for their internal quality assurance practices. And by offering these guidelines, we are interested to nurturing the ideas of quality as a culture. Development of teachers, continuous professional reflections for the way forward, which we are thinking it through this. Next, I just wanted to reflect few things of this tips framework. Next slide. If I'll go to the next slide, you see this tips framework, it's just an abbreviation. You can see TIPS. T stands for teaching and learning process. And I stands for information and material content. P stands for presentation, product, and format. S stands for system, technical, and technology. It covers all the aspects. Any materials if you are developing, for what? For teaching and learning. You are developing for teaching and learning. You can see the teaching and learning process. There are certain items which addressing that, whether your contents are compiling with that components or not. You can judge yourself while you are developing. Not only developers, if as a user also, you can use these parameters, use these components, setting your own rubrics to understand that whether this materials is quality or not, this OER is quality or not. So, and it is talking about the pedagogy, it's talking about the contextualizing, it's talking about the achieving of learning objectives, it's talking about the learning outcomes, it's talking about the materials which you are developing, it is really contextualizing. It's talking about the different kind of examples and illustrations which is you are given. It is appropriate to the context of the content. If I'll come into this, this is information and material content. It is talking about the content's stability. It's talking about the information you are giving, which is right information in the right place or not. And so the materials you are developing, which is really helpful for the content or not. Then you are coming to the presentation of your product and different format. You are putting the content in PDF format. You are putting your content in video format. You are putting your content in audio format, or your content you are putting in HTML format. So what kind of format you are putting and how you are presenting, or how your content are presenting through different PPT or something. And while you are developing all these contents, are you really taking consideration of that, the length and breadth of the content, weight of the content? Is it downloadable with low bandwidth, and is it accessible easily? It is able to searchable, and all these things you need to understand through this presentation, product, and format. System, technical, and technology. It's talking about the little bit technological context, that how your content can be placed in different places and how it can be supported with the different kind of technologies. So this TIPS focusing about and various useful for the teachers and the creator of open educational resources. And this tips framework complete document is available in Commonwealth of Learning Oasis platform as well as SEMCA website also. Next. Okay, this is the time for us to know about more about these open educational resources, understanding open educational resources. I hope, my dear friends, you are able to what is called interested and able to enhance your more knowledge after this lecture also, after this presentation also, to understand about open educational resources. And you can just browse this what is called this link. This link will facilitate you to do a 2 hours course, that is open educational resources. Very simple. Link is that learnoer.col.org. This will take you to the platform and help you for understanding about open educational resources. And you end up this 2 hours also, you will get your certificate from Commonwealth of Learning, signed by President and CEO of Commonwealth of Learning, that is Professor Asa Kanwar. You will the beauty of this course that you need not want to spend entire 2 hours at a time. You can go for this course for a little bit, 10 minutes. If you have 10 minutes, you can go for the 10 minutes. And when we will start again to do, then you can resume your session where you left. And from there you can continue. And accordingly, you can go for that. And it constitutes with text content and video content. And you can listen all the audios and to see the videos. And it also take you to some practice sessions. The practice sessions, that is online practice sessions. And there you can face the certain quizzes and some exercises, some assignments you will get. And instantly you can do these assignments. And when you will qualify with these assignments and quizzes, then you can go for the next level and you can complete. Accordingly, you can complete your entire course. End of the course, you will get your certificate. Before leaving this one, I would like to request my colleague, Dr. Monica, to play that video, which is I shared, which is very much useful for everybody to easily understand within a few seconds. Then I will address about this, then we will close the session.
Sir, we have one more question. I'll just take that question first. We have this question from RI Ajmer, Principal Sir, Professor Vishwanath Appa. He is asking, how do we ensure learning standards in OER?
Okay. First of all, my regards to Professor Vishwanath Appa. And because I met him in RI Mysore, and we are very close friends. So you just convey my regards to Professor Vishwanath Appa.
Sir, he is, I think, listening to the session, and RI Ajmer is connected also through Hangout with us.
Okay, great. So Vishwanath Appa, this is really very nice question. I am also wondering the answer of this question, and I can say that OER is kind of open educational resources. The standard learning standard depends upon having certain parameters, and the quality framework which I have shown, tips framework, which will help you to make certain level of learning and learning standards, and that can be developed within the institutionalized point as well as individual point, so that the learner can, if it is individualized learning, so learner can decide that the standard. And even if it is institutionalized, you can decide, and institution can decide the standard within the mandate of the quality parameters. For example, I can tell you, let you know, recently CIET come out with guidelines for development of e-contents. E-contents, the guidelines which is they developed, it is fortunate for me, and I'm really proud for that. I was associated with this journey of the development. It is available in their website also. So this is see the parameters and the different standards they are given. The content which is they are developing, that is addressing to the learning objectives and learning outcomes. Learning objectives which is they are developing, that need to be the entire teaching learning process, and teaching learning process addressing to how to achieve this learning outcome. So the OER, open educational resources, you need to make that level of standard so that these materials, OER materials, can help the learners in their teaching learning process, and to assure and achieve the learning objectives, with particularly reaching to that learning outcome. Hope I am able to explain this one. So Monica, maybe.
Okay, sir. Now I'll share my screen and play the video as you said. Okay, sir. Yes, ma'am.
So the session is over?
No, ma'am. We are just playing a final video for the
video, and it will create more clarity on OER. Then we will speak about this online course. Then we will bind up.
Okay. Let us watch the video.
Yes, ma'am.
For the long haul, human society is very slow, but since not so long ago, our pace of change has been increasing exponentially, ever faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and a lot faster. This constant evolution is only possible through the production and dissemination of knowledge, and the system transmitting it from generation to generation. The most efficient system we have come up with so far is formal education, a process whose pinnacle of achievement is a degree from a top university. The education given at these institutions opens a huge window of opportunity, as students learn from the highest qualified professors and acquire the most cutting-edge knowledge base. But the system as it is not to produce knowledge to everyone. It is by resources. Now, imagine that it were to change. How would our goal be if everyone could benefit from the opportunities offered by studying in these institutions? Well, already happening. Some of the best universities in the West are openly sharing their courses online. And this is just part of the trend. It's a trend in open educational resources. OER is a revolutionary technology that uses the internet to share and spread educational content, making high-quality education available for each motivated person to access for free. Opening access to top university courses is just one of the many things OERs can do. They can also serve as the best high school tutor, guiding thousands of topics with interactive exercises. They make up what they need for the biggest textbook library in the world, and provide a preferred way to improve and broaden your professional skills and practice. OERs are creating a new system of education, which is better adapted to respond to our highly economy. Equal access to knowledge, equal opportunities in life. In a world of equal opportunities, we all focus on you. Now that's freedom.
thank you. Thank you very much. I just come back to the slide PPT. Come back to the last slide of the PPT.
Yes, sir. Just a second.
Is there a call from somewhere, Monica?
Yeah, no, maybe for me only. Hello.
Okay.
हाँ 5 मिनट के बाद आई मीन ऑनलाइन सेशन sorry there's
Yeah,
a call.
please carry on.
Yeah, Monica, probably
Monica, do we have other slides?
last slide you can show
Please.
that online slide only last one.
Yeah, let us come to the slide.
Yeah.
Monica, are you there?
Okay, let me just share
Ma'am,
the
I'm just trying actually.
Just display the last slide.
Yes, ma'am.
last that OER course slide, online course. Yeah, good, good, Monica. This is the slide, okay? And yes, my dear friends, you just log into this link, and I can repeat again. This will take 2 hours of your time in total, and you will get certain certificates from Commonwealth of Learning, and which will be signed by President and CEO of Commonwealth of Learning, Professor Asha Kanwar, who is the only lady president of Commonwealth of Learning, that too from India. So this beauty of this course is that you need not want to spend entire your 2 hours at a time. You can go for according to your pace, your speed, and your time, and take accordingly. And wherever you will left your session, from there this course will resume, and you can it will ask you to resume from the sessions from where you left. You can just say yes, then it will go to that level, and from there it will continue.
Yeah,
So
this is a very good course. Most of our faculty and staff has gone through this course. And the beauty is that it's a very short duration course
yeah,
and they all have got certificate also. But
great.
I would recommend this course to all the RI faculty and also the NI faculty so that they may get more clarity on this course.
So thank you very much. My slide is thank you very much giving me this opportunity. Hope I can reach all the participants who are in the different RIs as well as NIE.
Yeah, we are also very grateful. Professor Behra is also watching your session from his room having accepted to take this session. Professor Behra is there. You can say hi to him also. He's there. He was listening to your presentation. It was really very, very informative presentation, and we are really thankful to you. Dr. Monica, you want to say something? Or Professor Behra, you are also there.
Sir, Behra sir, please switch on your mic. We cannot hear you. Please switch on your audio. Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Now we can hear.
You switched off your mic because just 1 minute before we hear you.
Sir, your mic is again off. You have muted your mic. Now it's okay.
Yes,
Can you hear?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
we can hear you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Manas, and thanks to the whole team. I'll join back.
Thank you, Vera. Thank you,
Thank
President.
you. Thank you. We'll get back to you.
Thank you.
Now I'll request members from Ajmer if we have any queries. Ajmer team, if we have any queries, more queries, it can be raised right now.
So otherwise, we will wind up the session, and in future also, we will look forward to have a session from Simca.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Monica, so formally wind up now, if there is no more queries.
Okay, ma'am, you can wind up. I think
I already thanked Professor Manas. And thank you all who have joined this session, and especially Dr. Manas for taking such an informative session, and for also sharing the link of that OER course. I hope that everybody has noted down the link, and they will more and more people will take that OER course on OER. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you, RI team. And if you have any queries further also, you can share on the group. We can take it up and ask Dr. Manas to answer later also. I'll be sharing the link of the course on the group also, so that whoever is interested can join this course.
Yeah, that
Thank
will
you once again, everyone, for the session.
Thank you.